her main champion or something like that is the Kai'Sa, so that's why he always hovers it first. So
well,
at least I never get baited by that.
You can only hover because Azir is going to be the lock-in instead. He's been in pretty much every game that he's not banned in the mid lane lately, so not too surprised to see that one. Wukong, another one of those tier list toppers, except over in the jungle role, we're seeing him all the time now, especially with the Poppy potentially not being allowed to play in this one.
Yeah.
Dignitas, that was their first ban, so she's not able to stop Wukong from getting in there and doing what he likes to do.
Yeah, a lot of jungle bans actually, you know.
Yep.
There's the Poppy ban, the Trundle ban, the Lee Sin ban, Wukong taken away here. Santorin's next most played would be the Volibear, and then it's champions that he only has one play on, like the Udyr, the Viego.
Yep.
Azir, as you said, has been getting played non-stop. It's the most played for both Bjergsen as well as Blue, but it looks like Blue will be going very likely to the Taliyah here. And we have seen a lot of success on this champion. Takoya had an incredible game. Jensen had an incredible game. So it has been very effective coming out of mid lane. But I do think when you're going to go Taliyah, you need to be actually pairing it with some hard CC. So I want to see if they're going to be drafting that, from support, looking for something like a Leona or a Nautilus or whatever. You need something to really set up the seismic shove.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just not really reliable enough. And Taliyah is very reliant on that to get out enough damage.
Well, we got Sivir locked in for TL. So honestly, just very standard top of the table meta picks that scale for TL. I mean, Sivir has just been picked all the time, same as Azir. Ever since she got those buffs, brought back into the crit marksman role instead of that weird lethality boomerang pizza poke thing. I was never a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Yes! Render unto me what is mine! Let's go!
Oh my God, the pop-off. I thought Flowers was about to knock over the table here. My man's jumping up and down. That was, you know what? That was actually giving me strong vibes of. That was like you were going Super Saiyan, right? Like you took the power. You're charging up. Skarner gets locked in. Flowers goes Super Saiyan.
I am so ready. I have been saying for the past couple of weeks, NA is behind. They need to be playing Skarner. He's got some good matchups. Zeri and Taliyah in particular, champions that don't have a dash, but champions that can be run down with the power of the Skarner speed, going with the Turbo Kim Tank, just sprinting at him. Zeri's not going to be hopping, skipping, jumping, running, and kiting if she's in a net.
That's true. If you can catch up to that Zeri, the ulti is going to be really effective. That's going to be the big question, though, is can you get up on that Zeri? I'm expecting him to, as you said, go Chem Tank, look for those flash ultis on these squishy targets. If you can lock them down, you can knock them down for sure. They're also not drafting a lot of dashes. As soon as Taliyah gets locked in, their next two are Sivir as well as the Skarner, who really don't care about the rock fields, right? You're not going to be dashing over that and getting stunned up. I can just see your energy. You're like pacing back and forth.
My blood pressure's going to be something you would normally be put in a hospital for. I don't even care.
Flowers literally did this.
They're going, But Sivir, Skarner loves being friends with Sivir. They're best buddies. Not only are they both from the same area in the lore of the desert, but Sivir makes him so fast. Anything that lets him accelerate faster towards these targets, these vulnerable champions in the Taliyah and the Zeri.
They're banning out the Karma. They're trying to hold Skarner down.
Exactly. Get rid of the Karma. Get rid of the Nautilus that can set him up, make it easier for her to hit them spots. Getting rid of Lulu, I like this ban from the side of TL. They don't want to have one of those supports that can really enable Zeri super well. Yuumi already banned out. That was their very first ban of the draft. Do they want to continue targeting enchanters here? No. Going to look towards one of those top lane tanks, recognizing that Dignitas doesn't really have a main front line right now. You got Wukong, but he's much more of a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't really have any of that engaged. They don't have that kind of CC to be able to lock down some of these targets, so take that away from Hoon. Hoon also has been mostly on tank duty, right? He has 2 Ornn games, a Sejuani game, and 1 Gnar game, so really kind of focusing towards that. It's going to be Renata Glasc, so something that is a bit difficult for Skarner to deal with. Obviously, trying to run through, if you're running straight at someone, it's very easy to disengage with the ult or the handshake to be able to actually push Skarner back. And that's where you are going to be more relying on things like that flash ulti. The blind Olaf top would be a bit of a throwdown.
That'd be a Chad move.
This is like calling the bluff, saying, Hoon, you got nothing. I'm going to blind pick Olaf into you.
He locked it in.
That is confidence there from Bwipo. And I'm going to be really interested to see, you know, is Hoon willing to go something a little aggressive to try to answer this? Or is he just going to be playing, you know, something standard like a tank up in the top lane? Would he be willing to go to something a little bit more risky? You know, some of these aggressive counter picks, things like Kled can be really effective into it, you know. Kind of some of those range matchups can also be pretty effective into it.
You can dodge the axes at least.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you get chased down, you're going to be in trouble. But things like Quinn can be really, really tough. Some of the aggressive melee matchups can also be really, really tough for Olaf. So I'm really curious to see what we're actually going to get.
He's hovering over a lot of interesting picks, and then settles on the opposite of those interesting picks, going with the tried and true, the Gnar. This just seems to generally be the answer of, well, we don't have anything specific that we need. This works in every situation type of a pick.
And to be honest, it feels like Bwipo kind of had the read, right? Like, you know, he didn't think that he was going to have the confidence to go for something really aggressive, to go for some sort of, you know, specific counter pick. So he's willing to blind it. And he is playing Ghost Olaf, so Hoon is going to have to actually be really careful when he is in mini form. I wonder if this is going to be a Stride Breaker game as well, because I do think Stride Breaker Ghost Olaf is really effective against some of these ranged matchups. You get up on top of them, you slow them down with the Stride Breaker, you pop your ulti, additional move speed, you have to slow down with the axe, the Ghost speeds you up. You can chase down 100-0 a mini Gnar if he is in the wrong spot. So that is going to be a concern, but of course, if Olaf does not get ahead, this champion can really struggle sometimes later on. There are a lot of these champions which can potentially keep distance from Olaf, and if you can't be up on them, that ultimate is going to fail for that lane. So I wouldn't be surprised to see CoreJJ getting out of lane and looking to focus some play up around top.
Alrighty, let's rock and roll. Let's do this. I do believe that we have the scoreboard bug, and there are items on both Hoon and Hans Sama.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's just scoreboard bug right now.
And Hans is longsword 3-pot, and Hoon is just starting a D-blade and a potion.
Okay.
So I can see that in game. So it is not going to be the cull start for Hans. Will be a cull start on the other side for Spawn. And we are getting the ghost tech, which we've been seeing way more these days from marksmen. People are really just kind of valuing the move speed more so than the heal or barrier cleanse, things like that. So it is interesting. You know, I do think if you can survive the initial phase of that fight, Ghost has so much value. And because you can get the resets on Ghost as well, like you start winning a fight, you can just be chasing people down.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it can be incredibly powerful. And Zeri with Ghost is a tilter to play against. I don't know if you've had the displeasure of playing against a fed Zeri with Ghost, but if you thought she was fast with just the ulti stacks, you add in Ghost, it's like, this champion is inescapable. You've got to be on point with your engages to really knock her down. Or, you know, the juggernauts like Santorin and Bwipo are not going to be having any fun at all.
Exactly. We're going to see junglers starting on their blues. So opposite sides of the map here this time at the start, as Hans and Core will just walk right into lane. Okay. Yeah, Spawn tries to hit him with a couple of those Qs, not getting a whole lot of results out of those. And they just walk in. All right, looked like we could have maybe got something spicy, but they don't go for it.
Yeah, not going to go for anything much. You know, I wasn't sure if it was going to be, you know, fully committed to something. You can also just sometimes you'll see Sivir just start Boomerang Blade if they actually see a good angle, and they'll try to walk in and get a little bit of a chunk off right at the start. Some TL fans in the crowd there got the poster. That's a good drawing. It actually looks really like their logo.
Dude, I'm always amazed at people that can actually make art that's not just stick figures and circles.
Yeah, you're on the same level as me.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for our graphic content anytime soon. Like, we're just not, that's not our talent. We're talking guys.
Yeah.
As Skarner will make his way into the bottom side here. Remember, for those who do not know, Skarner Spires give him unlimited mana and a great increase to both attack speed and movement speed. It's 43% attack speed at level 1, scaling up to, I believe, 160% attack speed at level 18.
This is your opportunity. He's not reading these tooltips, folks. He knows this.
Yeah, this is all memory. It's so much stats. So the big thing about fighting him
There's one guy that loves Skarner, that you found the other guy.
Yes, we've got the other guy. Hell yeah, other guy. But that's going to be a big factor whenever these two junglers find one another in neutral territory or in contested territory in either jungle. Yeah. If Skarner doesn't have the Spire, he can't go anywhere near Wukong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Spire is such a critical part of his dueling power, you know, as well as the jungle clear, you know, the mana getting back, the attack speed really helps Skarner power through that jungle very, very quickly. It's looking like pretty mirrored clears. Skarner going to be one camp up, though. You are going to do those AoE camps a lot faster than Wukong in the early game, so He did 5 camps at the same time as Wukong did 4. Both going to be able to pick up Scuttle. And then likely Santorin will just head back and do the Krugs and then base, because there's not really going to be that much of an opportunity, I think, to find anything here around bot lane. The only lane that I think there potentially could be some action around is probably that top lane. So I do think it's going to be a pretty passive early game for junglers, really just prioritizing fast clears. Skarner likely trying to look for 6, and then really kind of go from there, because that's going to be your first opportunity to kind of have that explosive power to find a gank.
And honestly, as long as Gnar is not in mega form, you have 4 good targets to Skarner ulti. You really just don't want to go for Wukong, drag him into the team and have him spinning around on everybody. But we'll see Blue making his way back to the mid lane.
From Germany to watch TL. That's a long trip.
Holy moly, that is quite a journey, my friend. Look at that. That's one of those double-digit hour flights. You gotta have more than a book or one video game for that one. Those are tough. All right, so 40 seconds till the first Drake of the game spawns. Remember, these are all much more powerful on 12.14, so teams have been generally more motivated to go after them early on. Blue walking into the enemy jungle, looking to potentially either place down a ward or fake them out with the ward placement. You can see that the ward is not actually there except for the control ward on the back side of the red pit. Santorin's hanging out, seeing if maybe he can get a chance at the Taliyah here. Nope, they're going to find him out. He just walks back into the river, captures that Spire. Remember, when you capture it, the entire area of it is illuminated. You get vision over that for 2 seconds. So it also helps reveal anything that might be nearby. Even though it's not marked on the minimap anymore either, if you're paying attention, you'll see it through fog. So that's one thing that generally favors the Skarner.
Kind of like teleport.
Yeah, exactly. It generally favors the Skarner over other players that don't know to look for it or don't know that it does that, but that is one of the additional features that you can get out of it if you're really paying attention and clicking all over the map.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see, when he's actually going to be able to make that first move. Early Lucidity boots feel so standard these days on tank junglers.
Oh, yeah.
You get the CDR, get the move speed. Summoner spell cooldown reduction is also very, very nice. But we're having a pretty passive game here thus far. Hans and CoreJJ, though, already opening up a fairly significant CS lead down in that bot lane. So, Spawn and Bio, I think, having more trouble than expected. If they were expecting to, if they're going to be struggling in this lane, I don't think he would have been going for the cold start. But eXyu going to come in, see if he can steal anything away. Only got 1 mini Raptor, so not really a big deal.
Yeah, doesn't really get it. Santorin doing a good job there. And since he gets the smite on the big chicken, that gives him level 5. So now eXyu doesn't have the level advantage in the 300 or 400 gold's worth of stats that would give him. So he then backs away. Also would have been fighting Skarner on that Spire, which is what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
So just wanted to try to contest that camp as Bjergsen gets hit with a little bit of a seismic shove here. And you talked a little bit about it in Champ Select. Seismic shove has a lot of counterplay because it is so easy to step out of without proper setup. But when Taliyah hits it into the field of rocks, it hurts.
Yeah, it is a tremendous amount of damage. I mean, Blue is going for a very heavily scaling build. He has no AP per step right now. Scripting Potion and Tier, so basically just all mana in the early game. So not going to be bursting that hard thus far, but looking more towards that later stage of the game. Goes back, gets his Tier 2 boots. He's also playing Spellbook, which is much more of that kind of scaling setup as well. So we'll see where he's going to take us from here. Hoon up on the top side, going for the early tabbies. Move speed just so important in this kind of matchup. You aren't playing to really dominate, you're playing to kind of neutralize in a lot of these cases. But TL now maybe setting up for the dive here. Spell shield's used.
They do not have an ulti on the jungler. They do not need it. Kill comes through. CoreJJ will not die in time to get the bailout, and it's first blood, and it's on Hans Sama.
They're gonna get it on Hans. That is huge. Spawn even flashing forward to try to proc that bailout, try to get the kill, try to get the reset. Not able to do it. Really well set up there by TL. They had him chunked down. They were already ahead. I mean, look at that advantage now for Hans here in that bot lane. Massively ahead, 1K in the lead, 8 minutes in. They get a plate off that. They deny even more minions. They get 25, 26 CS in the lead.
Wow.
And Hans is way ahead of the pace of the game. That is a big problem here for Dignitas, especially because both summoners are down, and now you could repeat gank at 6 for Skarner.
And I love the fact that these inventories actually ended up being exactly what I was going to use as the example. I was going to say, man, that's a pickaxe and a boot, and sure enough, both sitting on a noon quiver, but pickaxe boot advantage for Hans Sama. Extra damage, extra move speed in a matchup that honestly has a lot to do with that. Remember, Zeri is the AD carry that you can sidestep her auto attacks. So really, really nice stuff for TL here in the bottom lane, nice and early. Ultis are online for both junglers. Gank potential is greatly increased. Yeah. We're going to see Santorin start up the Herald here. You can see the 2 Ruby Crystals in inventory building towards the bombies. I'm fully expecting Turbo Chem Tank here.
Yeah, and TL have control of that top side. Bjergsen got pushed mid. Hoon is moving down, but that means Bwipo is going to be behind him.
Yep.
Bwipo taking some pretty big chunk here, though.
Hoon's about to transform, so Bwipo steps back.
Bwipo doesn't win
But
that.
he can't hide inside the brush. Hoon throws him back. Oh, nice sidestep on the wallop. Now Bwipo has to turn berserk. He's looking to take Hoon down. Hoon barely gets away thanks to Blue, but Skarner's stinger finds eXyu, and he has to flash over the wall trying to get away. Santorin continues the chase. He marks him with the stun, but he can't deal the damage. eXyu escapes over the wall.
Oh, good job by eXyu getting out of there, even getting the flash in. But at the end of the day, you know, TL do get the Herald here, so it is 1-for-1. They get the Herald. Blue going to try to defend this, but CoreJJ is in the area. They will back out. I think if Hoon actually just got the bonus damage for slamming Olaf into the wall, like if he actually just slammed him towards him in Mega, I think he just wins that fight. Like, yes, Olaf is going to pop his ult and then, you know, take that fight immediately. He's not just going to sit the stun, but the damage you get for actually slamming him into the wall, I thought he could have just straight up killed him there. Instead, he used the ult kind of as a disengage, and it does mean that he needs Blue to come in here and bail him out. And this is where he's getting so low. Like, right when he procs Hyper here, I think if he just ults him into his own wall, maybe he thought he could have get him actually across the lane and into that, because the bonus damage here, he was so close to actually just bursting him down immediately. Blue just arrives in the nick of time there to take him down. The flash saving Hoon. It is 1-for-1, but in the advantage of TL because they have that Herald. I want to see Santorin try to get down here towards this bottom lane again, potentially punish spawn with no flash available. This tower is getting dangerously low, and you have the Herald. I mean, you just get Hans that far ahead of the pace of the game, and I think it's going to be really tough for Dignitas to compete.
Important thing to notice here too, Santorin running the Hex Splash. He has the Inspiration secondary tree, so I want to see some of that for playmaking, flashing over Dragon Walls, flashing over Wraith Walls. The different spots that you can get for the angles really opens up some creative choices when you're using that.
Yeah,
especially on a champion that doesn't normally have a dash.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can have things like a ward, expecting that one ward is going to cover all your angles, and then they flash over wall, they wrap around behind you. Can be very, very difficult. Here comes Santorin, expecting that he will look towards this bot lane play. Only 3 plates remaining on that bot tower. You can see eXyu is in the area. Bjergsen looking to get aggressive, though.
Oh, Blue. He's got to be careful about this one, man. Bjergsen is on the hunt. Blue, he even wastes the flash. Bjergsen dominant in mid lane.
Bjergsen, the 200th solo kill of his LCS career. The GOAT flexing on him here.
Makes it look pretty simple when he can just walk
Hex
up and kill him like
here
that.
We go.
But here it is. Hex flash over the wall, immediate handshake, but without any turret aggro, it's just like, okay, we'll just walk back out.
Yeah. Hey, just showcasing that he could have gone for a gank there.
Exactly. It's just letting him know, put the fear in him a little bit.
I'm surprised he doesn't drop the Herald. He's just going to actually elect to reset here. So I guess they decided if they can't get the full tower, it's not going to be worth just dropping it. So I think they were looking to see if they could find an angle to get a kill into that Herald and then take that full tower. But off the reset, Dignitas here may actually start up the Dragon. They're not going to elect to. Remember, it is obviously a lot tankier with these recent updates. So not feeling like they can actually burn this one down. We can watch this one more time. Bjergsen finding the angle, clean shuffle, straight in onto Blue, sidesteps the seismic shove there as the Ignite comes out. And Blue flashing, but he had him with the last auto. Perfect play there from Bjergsen.
Those always feel awful, too, when you flash at the very end and you die anyway. Because now it's like a death and a half, because now the next one's so much easier to get.
Yeah, I mean, you just call your jungler mid and you ult flash, right? Like, Bjergsen has his flash. Blue used Ignite and Flash and still died, and now they're wrapping around on him here.
Yep, just pull him on back. There's nothing to it. Sets it up perfectly with the Rakan, too, so they can chain the CC. Blue's got no way out of that one, and Bjergsen sitting on 2 kills now.
Nothing they can do. They didn't even need the Flash, and Bjergsen still has his Flash now. His ulti is back, so Blue comes back to lane. You've got to be worried about dying again. The Herald will get dropped here, so it's just going to be actually used mid to get Bjergsen even further ahead, who is already quite ahead in this game. Another couple plates will fall down. eXyu can clear this up. But that can potentially buy them time to even take the Dragon here, because they have bot push, they have mid push, and they are working on this Dragon. So first Cloud Drake of the game going to be going TL's way. They're now 2K ahead. Has been more reserved early game. You know, TL has had some really, really aggressive early games. They've been one of those kind of super fast-paced teams. But when you're playing Sivir, Azir, you do not need to make all those plays early, and they're just creating solid advantages.
Right, they're up 2,000 gold. They've got a Drake. They've got so much plate money here. Bjergsen's going to knock another one of those down here in mid. Should be the last one he gets. I don't expect 15 seconds to be enough time to take out an entire last plate. You can see Hoon almost able to get one plate up here, but honestly, not even getting a single plate as a Gnar into a melee matchup. Good for Bwipo.
Yeah, Bwipo's doing just fine up there. You know, at the same time, Hoon has played it respectfully, you know, has not been taken advantage of whatsoever, you know, not getting solo kill, not really getting punished, so has played it pretty darn well, and it's going to be up to Bwipo to actually get things done in team fights, so we'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Can ignore a lot of what Taliyah does and just going to run straight at Taliyah, try to target her. I think it's going to be difficult for Bwipo to actually stick to spawn, but maybe if Santorin can set him up, they could get something done there.
Ooh, Hoon losing the chance to get his recall there. Getting interrupted a little bit means that he's not too happy about it. He'll lose a wave to this turret, I would expect, as eXyu marked by the Skarner slow, but no opportunity to chase that one down for any sort of a follow-up. He'll jump over the wall onto the Krugs. Spawns up here to catch this wave as it crashes into the turret. Hoon's going to be sent down into the bottom lane. Han's just going to keep on utilizing this lead, shove it further, continue building. You can see Bwipo will knock down the tier 1 turret in bottom before Hoon's able to get back. Again, a consequence of interrupting the back, making it so that he could not recall when he wanted to. And Team Liquid just keeps lining up these dominoes and knocking them over.
Yep, looking really, really strong. So let's go back to some Skarner facts here. So
okay.
If I remember correctly, you had told me that when you're playing tank Skarner, you should go Emax, right?
No, this is outdated information.
That's outdated information.
Yeah, that's outdated information. So generally the Qmax, especially now that the dragons are updated and Skarner's a good solo dragon taker and everything like that, Qmax is going to give you faster clear speed. Generally these days, Emax is only going to be valuable if the entirety of the enemy team is ranged and wants to kite you, because you'll never be in range with the Q. I actually did a little bit of a VOD review session with I Will Dominate after one of the games where we were talking about Qmax versus Emax, and we looked at how often the E's and the Q's were hitting and the sort of overall damage output. So yeah, Qmax is generally going to be what you want to go for here. He's maxing W second to get a little bit of extra tankiness, get a little bit of extra move speed. Generally, I find in a solo Q environment, Emax second will actually be better for you because it's going to give you more uptime on your stuns, a little bit more of a damage profile. What are you grinning so much for?
I'm just enjoying how much you're enjoying it. I'm giving my homie his time to shine here. It's not that often you get a Skarner game.
I know,
so I'm just going to ask you some Skarner questions and let you go.
Do we have, what runes is he running? I know he has Phase Rush and I know he has Hex
I got
Flash,
you, 1 second.
But, okay, yeah, so it's full movement speed, it's Water Walking, it's Celerity, it's Nimbus Cloak, exactly full movement speed, and then he's got Cosmic Insight. Okay, so yeah, he wants to make sure that he's getting more summoner spells, more opportunities to make those big plays.
Zeri
comes up, he gets the stun, he butt twisted! That is why you do it! You pull him back, and now he might just die anyway. Oh my god, that was beautiful, Santorin, let's go! That was perfect! Oh, I'm gonna be making a lecture out of that one. You saw exactly why it's good.
Yeah, he had to flash over him and just got stunned on the other side.
Anyway, that is exactly why you do the butt twist. That is Skarner, the one mechanic in the game he has. That is it.
It's really funny because I remember tweeting something ages ago talking about how pros don't do the butt twist. It was like, I don't know, it was kind of making fun of how you always talk about the butt twist. But Santorin replied and he's like, I do the butt twist. And I was like, do you do it in pro? I don't know if I've seen it. And he was like, oh, I'm not sure. But now he has something to point to.
He has. So let's take a look at this.
Let's get the butt twist in slow-mo. I want it zoomed in.
Right, so you have to mark them with the E first. He flashes, he pulls. Now watch at the very end, he's going to turn his character model around. He's going to flip his butt, boom! Spawns on the other side of him. He flashes immediately, but you A-click the ground and you will auto-attack them and trigger your stun every single time. Flash cannot clear Skarner's model distance plus his base 125 AA range.
I'm not sure if you were more excited for this or the like base race at Worlds or the Danny pentakill at the Baron Pit. It's hard to tell which was like the bigger moment for you.
All I'm saying is KT and IG should have played Skarner.
KTIG, right? Butt twist. It's hard. It's really hard to kind of compare these things, you know?
Look, I'm just so happy we finally got a pro game moment that can be used to clearly illustrate what it is and why to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the things that I actually really like watching One Tricks for is you find these little mechanics that people have really put in tons and tons of games on a champion and they figured it out, right? And that's something that's so valuable anytime you're picking up a new champion. And a lot of top pros will tell you that they actually go to One Tricks when they're learning a new champion as well. Yeah. Because they can save you so much time with these little tricks that can win you games, that can win you fights, right? And this is one of them.
Right.
For those Skarner One Tricks out there.
It's one of those things where it's like, why would you want to put in the 200 games to notice this one little thing when you could ask a guy who's already done it, as CoreJJ goes in and finds the knockup, but there's no backup to immediately guarantee any more damage. Spawns at 2/3 and walking away, while Bwipo and Santorin are making the kill happen underneath the tier 2. They'll walk around, and now they're coming in for the flank. They gotta be careful. Team Liquid is caught out of position, and Bwipo and Santorin will fall. Dig, get a bit of a turnaround.
Yeah, they're going deep for that, but Santorin and Bwipo were super low off the back end. Hoon was coming from one side, Spawn and them were on the other side, so no real way out, so they both end up going down. A little bit of gold back in the pockets of Dignitas, but this one is not close at all. 5K in the lead now for TL. They are cruising so far here against Dignitas. They're picking up where they left off last week. TL having that 2-0 week last week, looking really strong. And it's exciting to see that Bwipo is, again, back on this Olaf, and I'm really interested to see if that's going to continue tomorrow, the next day, and on into playoffs, you know, getting him these comfort picks and really prioritizing that above what is the traditional meta.
And it plays into what Santorin was talking about that we heard right before the game. Hitting the stride in the right time. You don't want to feel like you're falling down into the trench right when playoffs is about to start, and Team Liquid's doing good.
Yeah, here it is one more time. Stride breaker to start it out. They just took a lot of turret shots, so getting very low there. Even that final shot coming in after their triumph, so Bwipo is basically dead no matter which way he goes. I think in retrospect, you know, the comms are probably run to us, maybe we can get you out, but I think it would have been better to actually just die to the Gnar instead of the Zeri, so maybe just try to exit out through the top. But TL back to the scene of the crime here, up towards that top side, invading, taking over vision, stealing away this red buff. Bwipo taking some damage here, but
he doesn't care too much about that. At any point, he can press the Ragnarok, be able to walk away from these handshakes, Renata ultis, anything like that. But Team Liquid still has a 5,000 gold lead. The Drakes are 1-1. Dignitas was at least able to stop a stack in that regard, as now Santorin just immediately going for the grab onto eXyu in the chain CC. Team Liquid perfectly layers it, makes it so there's no way for the Monkey King to drop the clone and try to get out.
Yep, no shot to escape from that one. Bjergsen pushing up on that top side. They are pushing in mid lane. They're pushing out bot lane as well now. TL playing through all three lanes. Bjergsen in top. They have this three-man squad here, and they have Bwipo now shoving up that bot lane, creating these pockets of pressure on the map that Dignitas has to look to answer. And when they're trying to move between these lanes, that's when TL is actually pouncing and really punishing them. And with the item completions coming through now, it's just going to get harder and harder. Shadow Flame done now for Bjergsen. He has a stopwatch on top. Hansama is already on 2 items. Bwipo is already on 2 items. Shirellia done for CoreJJ. So the items are really showcasing themselves now from that gold lead. And it does mean, you know, one more bad fight, one more bad pick. It could be Baron. It could be game over.
Shirellia, Rakan plus Sivir ulti with 2 juggernauts on your team.
Yeah.
It really enables Santorin and Bwipo to do what they want to do and close that gap onto Taliyah, onto Zeri, onto these champions that normally rely on keeping distance against champions who just want to run at you, right?
Yep, absolutely. And I do really like the choice here of the Stride Breaker. I think it's intelligent when you're playing against a lot of these range champions. You know, not only does it have that 40% active slow, you know, anytime you're dealing physical damage, you get 20 move speed, right? So you're getting a lot of extra move speed to have that sticking power onto these slippery champions because that's exactly what they need. They need to get those initial kills, otherwise the fights can get tough. Hoon here.
Oh, Torin and CoreJJ and Bjergsen, man, there's no way out for Biofrost. They'll pick him up easy as bottom side Bwipo versus Hoon. Hoon transforms as Bwipo runs out of mana and runs out of his ultimate, so he has to disengage from this one. So bottom side essentially breaks even between these two. Bwipo's ghost for the flash of Hoon is going to be a cooldown favorable trade for him, but Santorin and Bjergsen, they can just duo this Baron. This isn't too hard when you have Azir.
And Dignitas they have an idea that this is going on. They don't see Bjergsen on the map. They're trying to move over there, but they don't have vision. So it is risky here. As eXyu steps a little bit further forward, he could be at risk. They do get him off the Baron, though. Hans, again, just shoving in that mid lane constantly here. Sivir so strong in these later stages, just instantly killing out these waves.
She's not even Infinity Edge yet.
Yep, don't even need it. Dignitas just trying to reclaim some vision in their jungle, and they are able to at least move forward, but they don't know if TL is actually waiting, setting a trap. So they are going to be able to get into the Baron pick, clear out this ward, try to get down some wards to at least have a general idea of what's going on, but TL now have reset. They're going to be out on the map here once more. Another stopwatch purchased up. That's one on Hans now here too. Deadman's is done for Santorin, so more move speed. It's kind of the name of the game here for TL.
Yeah, pretty much the Skarner core build in pro play is going to be Kim Tank, Dead Man's, and Force of Nature, those move speed tank items. Santorin stepping up here with the Dead Man's plate. He doesn't have his Spire, but once Dead Man's is fully stacked, your move speed is still going to be ferocious. So he can really pose a threat onto anybody that might be stepped up too far. As you can see, the Drake being soloed down by Bwipo on the other side of the map, as the remaining 4 players on Team Liquid will just posture aggressively enough to keep Dig focused on this, right? Let Bwipo take care of that dragon. That's no big deal. Everybody else just hanging out here.
Do you think Skarner looks more or less ferocious when he's going faster? Because like, kind of has those little feet. He's just scuttling really fast. They're kind of just wiggling around.
Skritter, sneaky critter. He's just in your jungle, skrittering around, trying to find somebody out of position. He's menacing. He's menacing. Look at him. Go get him. Get him, Skarner.
I don't know if that's menacing.
No, dude.
He's kind of just wiggling around.
He's my little guy. All right, so they'll clear out everything in this enemy jungle. They'll take the Skarner Spire. They'll place down the vision.
Oh, look at him go!
Critter, sneaky critter, get over here! Nice kill! See? Menacing.
That was very menacing, I'll give you that. That was one fast bug. Gets in there, grabs the Gnar, takes him down. Man, all that move speed stacked up. Taliyah pop, Sivir pop. In goes the Chem Tank as well. He is zooming in there.
And they knew that the flash was down because of the 1v1 with Bwipo in the bottom lane previously. So they can guarantee that that's happening, as they still have to wait a little bit more before they can make another Skarner ult play, but they've got the damage through Bjergsen's fed Azir to just force the turret over.
Yep, gonna be able to knock that one down, no problem. Han's just splitting bot as Sivir here. He's just going to be pushing this in.
Split push Sivir?
Yeah, I mean, who cares? They're winning on all sides. Dignitas has had no answers, really, to the TL pressure here. They're just getting run out of this game, slowly bleeding out across the map. I've not really been able to find any big plays. To be honest, it's a team comp that's so reliant on vision control, because when you're playing a team comp that relies on flanks, you have to have TP wards, you have to have vision denial, so that Wukong and Gnar can be coming from different angles and, you know, getting in on top of them. And that's the only way they can really proactively make plays, you know, catching people out with that setup, plus Taliyah wall, etc. But because TL has absolutely dominated the vision game, they haven't really had that opportunity. So Kai doesn't shout about me the way Captain Flower shouts about Skarner. I don't even want him, to be honest. Facts, Erica.
You know, that's one of the things that I always get, is people on the internet saying that they wish they had somebody love them as much as I love this, like, make-believe purple scorpion. Hey, man, I'm not shy. I'm flaunting it.
True.
Santorin,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Santorin's just going to zone him away here, because they don't even need him to take down the Baron. As long as he's got eyes on eXyu, they know that there won't be a smite steal away from this one. Sivir ulti's just going to be used to get Santorin back to the pit, guarantee the smite secure for TL. Nice, clean take of the Baron there. No way for Dig to really contest it. And Isaac, we're 26 minutes into the game with a 9,000 gold lead. Options are running out for Dignitas, and they're running out fast.
And that's why they're all 5 running right towards CoreJJ, seeing if they can get a pick there. A little bit optimistic, but
options are running out.
Options are running in. Yeah, exactly. Here's an option. Let's go.
Let's get him, boys. All right, CoreJJ is just running out there. Santorin will continue.
We're about to see them die.
Keeping an eye on everybody. eXyu already used Clone. Biofrost with a handshake on Santorin to just stop him from getting in as fast as he wants to. Let's see if they'll keep chasing on the side of TL. They won't be able to close that distance in time. Bjergsen going to be the split man here. As you can see, 3 here in mid. Bwipo's in the enemy jungle, sort of still hanging around with mid. Bjergsen setting up the push top, utilizing the Baron split.
Oh, here comes
Bwipo backs up. Okay, eXyu just walks in. Hey, guys, what's up? Not a whole lot.
I'm flanking the Olaf, and the Olaf is up 3 levels.
He's only got 3,500 health, guys. I'm on him.
Not menacing.
I'm here.
Fast Skarner, menacing.
Yep.
A level 12 Wukong, not menacing.
No, not menacing at all. Skarner is the absolute value of Wukong's menace. He is just, he's there, he's terrifying. Wukong's just sort of hanging out.
Yep.
Well, Hans Sama, speaking of scaling, Hans Sama's at that point like you were talking about where the whole wave just evaporates. There's not even a point in looking at this.
He has 335 CS. It is 28 minutes into the game. So
yeah, that's a pretty good,
he's got some
pretty good rate.
Yeah.
He's also got the stopwatch in the inventory, so it's hard to do anything back. Flash ulti coming out from Santorin. Spawn's going to be pulled in. Won't be killed off just yet. Team Liquid lose 2. They didn't go in with enough of their guys. They were too overconfident, and Dig get the punish. Now they'll try to find Bwipo here as well. Blue brings down the wall to buy enough time for everybody else to close the gap. Dignitas need to bring everybody to this party. Bwipo is
Good
a very
sidesteps.
strong Viking. He's doing a good job stepping
He's
away
gonna
from
walk
these.
out.
Oh my God, he's just walking
Here
away
goes.
from them. 1v5, Bwipo! He won't get the kill because of the bailout.
It's never a fair
Wowie.
fight. Never a fair fight.
Oh my God, yeah, bring 5 next time.
Yeah. 5 and you're using the bailout. Meet me in the Baron pit, bro.
Yeah, 1v1. Let's see how good you
1v1.
guys do. 4v1. Let's see
Yeah.
how you do with 4 of you.
Yeah. True.
Nice take on the inhib, though, while it was happening. So here's another look at what happened. Santorin, he was ready to go, but they just didn't have the damage to get it done. eXyu did a great job.
Exactly. eXyu really did a good job there, zoning him out. And then Han Sama, the traitor, just deletes CoreJJ, gets hit by the Renata ult. He just absolutely obliterated him, and now it is Dig starting up the Dragon here. Hoon is charging up the Narbar, does have TP. Do they have a flanking ward? There's one over by the red buff. They're just going to TP straight in on this.
Okay.
But now they're kind of in an awkward spot because they're kind of zoned out away from their base. CoreJJ is flanking, and they're going to TP in the Olaf. They're going to look for a fight here.
They found Biofrost here at the start. Handshake's going to buy him a moment to get back with the rest of the team. Bjergsen and Han Sama got to be careful. The carries are alone. Oh, Hoon didn't know the damn thing. Now he's going to be pulled right back into Team Liquid's arms. He's dead. eXyu's dead. Biofrost is dead. And Spawn and Blue are running into the wrong jungle on the wrong
They're
side of the
between a
map.
rock and a Skarner.
Oh, and Skarner might have the range of a rock, but he's a lot scarier. Get in there, Skarner. Bwipo's gonna run him down with Ragnarok. Spawn jumps over the wall. He'll
Keep
try
going,
to keep
Skarner.
fighting
You
this
can
one
do
out.
it, bud.
Get him, Skarner. Bjergsen's in the enemy base. He's gonna take this one out together with Hans. Nobody should be able to respawn in time to stop it. They don't have the Baron anymore, but who even needs it? Spawn's just running away from everybody else back towards his own base.
Skarner will catch him by the time he gets a rework.
What is this yakety stacks chase sequence?
Get him,
Go
Santorin!
get him, Santorin! Spawn's trying to get away. Renata ulti comes out. Bjergsen going in. Alley-oops him
They
straight
got
back
him.
into the wall. Biofrost likely to die here first, but Spawn's not gonna drop in time. Team Liquid takes the game in 30 minutes.
Oh, it's a stomp. TL looking so strong here today. 10K up by the end of that one. Flexing on him with the Skarner. TL felt like they were in full control, start to finish. Hansam and CoreJJ created a massive bot lane advantage. Almost ended with the Flame Horizon, just 4 CS off at the very end of it all.
Bjergsen was doing the same in mid. He was solo killing Blue. He was forcing flashes out in damned situations to begin with. Honestly, just showcasing the skill gap between these teams. Like, Team Liquid's a contender. They're turning on at the right time, and they were able to just smash Dig out of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought after we saw the draft, you know, we see the Olaf pick. I thought, okay, they're going to play towards this aggressive pick on the top side. They're going to try to really go at Hoon. But Hoon was kind of just chilling up in the top side, farming.
Yeah.
You know, TL didn't spend their time up there. It's Bjergsen getting a solo kill in mid, as you said. And it was Han Sama and CoreJJ creating such a large 2v2 advantage, getting a big CS advantage, that then that attracted the junglers. That brought Santorin down there to really hammer it home. They pull off that dive. And all of a sudden, Zeri is completely out of it. And without the Zeri, it's like that was their true threat, I think, to this kind of juggernaut comp, is that Zeri had to be able to really take over in some of these team fights. And we saw when Zeri's really the only threat, no QSS available, well, Skarner can answer that pretty easily when Flash is up.
And that's what I really like, just the comp from TL. It was very cohesive. It was very coherent.
A lot of speed up.
2 juggernauts, speed up on Sivir's ulti. Rakan buying Shirelia's, making sure he gives him another go button. And then Bjergsen's just on Azir. Just in case this entire run-at-you Looney Tunes style doesn't work, you've still got the guy who got voted best all-time mid laner in North America playing one of the scalingest champions in the game. Exactly. We've got plan B, and B stands for Bjergsen.
Where's the trust, you know? There shouldn't be a plan B. It should be Zillion.
Bjergsen,
Zillion mid.
Just make Skarner even faster. Exactly. We're heading to a break right now, but when we return, we got the